Hey everyone, welcome back. Thanks for checking out another video. We are doing another live com. We are hopping on board with Seth as he and Chicago are getting ready to take on Florida Mutineers. So they are playing Florida like I just mentioned, but this is the first map that they've played since they got absolutely demolished in a few games of Hardpoint and actually a couple games of Dom against Atlanta. So there was quite the controversy. There was quite the discussion afterwards for about 20 or 30 minutes about all the slide cancel mechanics that Atlanta seems to be taking advantage of. So let's just say that morale, team composure was not the best that I've ever seen it for a Call of Duty team. So I'm really interested to see how they respond in this game. So what I want to do is I want to turn up their team comms here because I really want to know what's going on internally with them. I want to know what they're saying, how team morale is, if they've been able to put whatever they had from the last game in the past. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you guys listen to what they're talking about. I am still going to comment in every time I see something that's really important, but this is going to be more of a mixture of me talking and you listening to them than just me talking for like the first 3 minutes and then them talking for the next 3 minutes. So with that, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to turn up their volume and let's see what they're talking about.
Oh, yo, which side?
There it is.
First one of the day. Middle.
Real quick, 4 just went down right there. That's how they were able to flip spawns going into that second hardpoint. As you go into the second hardpoint, you do want that back spawn, and they were able to get that by getting 4 dead right there. So awesome spawn flip right there by them.
Top green. Mid, Mox.
One shot cup car. There's 2 cup cars.
Yeah, I do.
Right, he's hit left.
He's bottom, he's low hill.
Well.
So they're doing a great job of holding down the right side of the map, the green flank, but since they're pushed up, or since Seth was pushed up a little bit on that right-hand side, they are spawning and coming through warehouse.
I'm going down middle, actually.
I'm in hut right now. I'm just chilling.
One and new.
Pushing the hut. One shot. Havoc.
I'm in green.
So right now, as this gets ready to transfer to that middle third hard point, what they're trying to do is they're trying to lock down this left side of the map so that when it gets to the third and the fourth hard point, you can come from the other side, the back yellow spawn, right where Seth was just looking right there, so that you have spawns going back into that fifth hard point. That fifth hard point is a really important one. You can really max out a lot of time there.
He's our side first.
Yeah, that's another one there. Got two.
Nice. I'm going.
Right now they're struggling to get out of their last spawn, so this is not looking very good for this third hill as we go ahead and get into the first few seconds of this.
I'm deep, right?
I'm green.
We're going green, I guess. We're going green.
I'm spawn killing this guy.
Look at Seth's mini map real quick. In the top top left-hand corner, there is somebody pushed through on the other side. I forget who. They just showed him. I don't know if it was formal, but there was somebody pushed through to that back spawn point.
I got Mox. Wait, I didn't. Well, Mox actually, there's 2 back left.
That was Envoy. So Envoy was pushed through, but he just went 2 down there. So they don't have the spawn, but they do have control of the hill, and they do have them pushed back a little bit. I'm going to look for them to probably try to continue to push that out as it rotates to the fourth hard point, so that when it gets to the fifth, they have that back spawn and they can max out those points.
I'm pushing L.
Tool dead. Another one here.
I'm hitting top. Oh no!
I hit him top.
You hit me.
Up too close to your wall.
They all have to flood.
And again, that's the problem with watching Seth or Envoy or Gunless or one of these SMGs is that you can't really tell what's happening with spawns because they're so concerned with what's going on in the hill. Like Formal right now, you can't really tell where he's at. Well, there you can just see him, but somebody was on the flank over there. I don't know if it was Arcides. Okay, so look, top left corner. I don't know if you were watching the mini map there, but 3 people went down for Chicago and they spawned back in this corner. So I don't know what Florida did there. I don't know if they got too invested into the current hill, but they gave up these spawns, and that is not good for the future here because the second and the fifth hill are the key hills here where you can really max out time. Good kill there by Seth.
Hold up,
I need left side down.
All dead.
Wow, dude.
I got another one.
One's bottom slaying already. Bottom slant, Mox. Slant, Mox.
I don't know where Chance is. Top hill dead.
He's still here.
Could be up middle, man.
Dead.
Where's he going?
Top hill dead.
Within green.
All right, so far, if we're going to diagnose how the scrim is going, this very first map for Chicago, I think this is going pretty well. They weren't able necessarily to get the most points off of that third and the fourth hard point, but since they've locked down the second and the fifth, which are the two major hard points on this map, you can see that they've basically doubled the score here for Florida, which I kind of expected them to do. I expected them to back out fairly well, to come back fairly well after that scrimmage against Atlanta.
Coming up you first here.
Third, baby.
Third dead.
Mid hot, Mox.
Stop
AC, Mox.
One up middle right now.
L dead, good call. Dead.
A little bit, some shaky shots there from Seth, but now they're going to try to flip this again. So you can see that a couple people right now, they're just not even, they're foregoing that first hard point, and they're really trying to lock down these spawns already. Time in that warehouse hard point, it doesn't really matter all that much. It looked like Gunless, Arcides, and Seth all went down. Those were the three that were on flank. So they did go down. They weren't able to lock down spawns, but again, I'm constantly looking at Seth's minimap right now, and if you look behind him, there are a couple blue arrows that are pushed out. Seth could have easily pushed in and gotten a lot of this time, but what they don't want to alarm whoever might be in the back by Seth pushing out that time. So
he just stuck me. He's still 18.
they're just trying to slow play this a little bit. Formal got a couple, but he went down. So as we rotate in about 25 seconds, they haven't been able to push out spawns yet, and they really haven't given up too much of an edge on this first hill. So you might say they're not maxing out a ton of time. They're not building on their lead in this first hill, but that doesn't matter all that much. Again, you're trying to get that second and that fifth hard point.
Stack some backfire. I'm staying mid-map.
Skies is doing a phenomenal job. Formal, Envoy, and Gunless all just went down from Skies. He's doing a great job of locking down that cut for Florida as they try to advance and push out spawns to that second hard point. 4 dead. That's the last one that Seth's shooting right now. So if you watch the kill feed, there were 4 dead. That's the last one. They did spawn back here. They had 4 dead, but I just don't think that they were pushed up enough and able to get those spawns out. Now, Skies was on that right side, so since Skies spawned on the other side, that means that Chicago pushed out this left side, and now they're able to get control of the hard point. So they didn't make them spawn out, but they did make them spawn on the opposite side, which is the spot that you don't really want. So it might have been a little bit too late, and they're not getting these points. These are clutch like 6, 7, 8 points here. But they were able to push it out.
They spawned ult. I'm
not even going to go for green. Top green.
So if we're grading that hill, I don't know, that's just kind of an average hill. They're able to push it out, but they weren't able to get those last 20-25 seconds or so. However, as we rotate back to this third hill, they've already got the spawns for the fifth hill. So third hill, fourth hill don't really matter too much, especially when you have a 70, 80-point lead like they do right now. So in this instance, Seth's just trying to lock down warehouse so that they don't flank through over to back yellow on the other side, and the rest of them are just kind of controlling the middle of the map and controlling points in the hill. Normally this hill, it's really hard to stack time together, but they're doing a great job of this for this one.
He jumped over man.
What the fuck? One shot.
Seth just kind of ran out of bullets there, but that's not going to hurt them. Envoy just killed Gunless. That might hurt a little bit.
One more hill.
Colt was left. One's left on the wall.
One push to right.
They're trying to flip from right.
All right, in that kill cam right there, you just saw whoever killed Gunless on the other side, they are pushing that out to the right. So if you're Chicago, this has to be #1 right here, is that you cannot give up this spawn. Looks like somebody's up top heaven. Arcides and Envoy just got a kill. My guess would be that person that's up there. So right now, Chicago is giving up time in that fourth hard point again, but again, it doesn't matter all that much because they have the fifth hard point locked down. So right now, Seth's just going to try to make plays. If he can add another 10, 12, 13 seconds to this time for Chicago, and that's basically going to be a wrap for this map, as long as they don't give up spawns for the next one. So this is good time. So there, Seth easily got 15 seconds. He can test it for a few more. So if those 20 seconds or so go the other way, this is a much closer game. If it's 200 to 150, that's a lot closer, and that makes you think a little bit more than this game at 230 to 130 does.
I pinched it. Dead.
Again, the whole time I'm watching this, I'm just watching the minimap in the top left-hand corner, and as Chicago dies, so right now, there were only 3 blue arrows on screen. 2 more came up, and when they came up, they are in the spawn that they want. So that whole time, Seth's face in the top right-hand corner. I think he just successfully executed a slide cancel, so he was a little pumped about it. But with this, obviously, Chicago has spawns, and they're in Hardpoint, so 248, 249, that's going to be all she wrote. So I was a little bit interested to see how they would respond there. 250 to 137. But so as we bring up the scoreboard here, Seth dropped 32, so good for him. There was a game against Atlanta, he dropped like 7, so dropping 32 here for him is a really good sign as they move throughout the night in the rest of these scrims. So if you're new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I cannot wait for Minnesota to come. Once the land at Minnesota comes, I'm going to be doing this all day. The entire weekend, I'm going to be putting out 5, 6, 7 videos a day, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you're here for the analysis once those games come. And with that, guys, thank you so much. Don't forget to leave a like before you head on your way, and I'll catch you in the next one. We'll see you.